Monday, guys. Happy Monday. Man, that's such a catchy jingle, right? No, I appreciate you joining us for our last in the series of sketchbook shows. I cannot believe we've done 12 of them. And it's been 12 months since we kind of put it together. So it's been a heck of a 2023 and glad to kind of end it with you guys outside of actually picking an overall sketchbook winner. So a couple things today. I'll bring in everyone, but want to make sure you guys stick around. We have a hell of an intermission. I'm wearing a vest, rocking a vest, right? But it's to hide the official or unofficial Mega Cock shirt. So I get to go ahead and just show that. Yep, go blue. Who the heck schedules a comic art OA show on the national championship for college football? Because we know all of us comic art collectors are huge OA fan or college football fans. So, but I appreciate you tearing yourself away or watching it in simulcast with this show. So let's bring in the last panel. Let's see, I'll go in order. We'll start with everyone, but I'll say hi to everyone too. Let's see who goes second. Carl, Mike, and Santa Claus.
Hello.
So, how you doing, guys?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
James, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's right. I did it for the fridge, Steve. Or did it for the background. Whatever's going on there.
No, it's a door. It's my office door. It just has. Okay, so my office is in the basement. And I have a very old house, and that's all in the basement because they have a very low ceiling. So they kind of put me down here. But then I'm allowed to do whatever I want to the office. So any kind of like stickers or anything, I could still act like I'm 15 years old down here. So that's the way. One little section of the house.
At least you don't office under a bunk bed. That would be really weird.
Well, that's later. I'll show you that later.
All right. Well, how's New Year been for you guys? How's start of 2024?
It's been cold in Los Angeles. Like for me, it's like the 40s.
Shut up, Carl.
So I'm freezing. But
what's Los Angeles cold?
It's like 40, low 40. It's chilly. It's chilly for LA.
Yeah.
So
that's
for me, it's
in New York too, and
it's
that's
brisk.
Natural.
Yeah.
It's great.
You think that's cold? We got 68 here, and it's driving me crazy. I hate that shit.
Yeah. You got alligators and stuff too.
Yeah. As long as you don't bite them, they don't bite you.
Fair enough. All right. Well, let's get started. So I'll go through. Let's start this slideshow. I want to be on the bottom. No comments, please. We'll go in order. You're in there, second to last. All right. So sketchbook debate, December 2023. So for December, we had the theme of, well, everyone pick your favorite art purchase for 2023. Try to end the year on something uplifting, something you guys are proud of. If you guys actually checked out the sketchbook, Ronald Shepard was proud of a whole lot of art.
And we're proud of Ronald Shepard.
I know.
We could
shout
do a
out to
separate
Ronald.
show of just his pieces.
He gets the sketch
It's impressive. It's true investment. He really put time into it. So definitely a shout out.
So everyone in the chat, give Ronald the clappy hands. But you know he has the VIP trophy for most participation throughout the entire basically event and series. So one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do the best of CAF with the sketchbook show, and originally it was gonna have 12 pieces, one for each month. But I went ahead and did an executive decision. We're gonna have a 13th piece, and that 13th piece is Ronald's choice for actually participating as much as he has and helping with the sketchbook theme show. So we appreciate it, man. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, I guess I'll read the rules, but hopefully it's not your first time. So basically, to let everyone know, there's going to be 4 rounds. All submissions were put into the December 2023 sketchbook theme, which is favorite new artwork purchase. We have our 4 panelists who each picked 4 pieces of art, and we will actually debate those within 4 rounds. The audience gets to vote in those 4 rounds. I will look at question and answers as the audience semi-demands at my discretion, and then we will pick a winner. So anything before we jump into it, gentlemen?
I'm good.
Good.
Good luck. May the best goateed man win.
You don't vote on motivational.
Is that a goatee? Is that what that's called?
What the hell else is it gonna be? Don't
It's
be jealous.
I am. I'm jealous of it. Next time I'll have that.
Hold on, real quick. Why is the question answer closed? Because the Slido hasn't initiated yet. So let's go ahead and jump in. So in order to go to the Slido, go to slido.com, either enter the code, and you guys can participate too. Or 272-469, or do the QR code.
We don't.
Here, one quick second. Talks amongst yourselves. I'm gonna initiate it.
All right, don't be shy, guys. I'll start. Carl, you emailed me earlier, right? The other day.
I did.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure there was more than one Carl Choi. And Steve, you're the dude that always has those funny ass glasses, right? You wear like
that's me.
Oh, okay, yeah. And Mike McCaskill.
I'm sure I've talked to you at some point over the last decade or so. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun to be with all you guys. I don't think I've ever spoken to any of you.
No. Like I said, the names are familiar. I've commented on you guys. I know Mayor McCheese and everybody. So it's good to finally the avatars with the faces, I guess, would be a way to say it.
Let's make the show real fun and let's mute James. Can we do that or no?
No, I've got all the power. If you want to know what happened, I clicked on close questions. So we are resaved.
Okay.
They just want the questions open to abuse you, James.
I know.
So, Rob, when are you updating your whole list of things you're bringing?
Every week I'm putting a few pieces up. This week I'm going to put like another 5 to 10. I got a nice Arthur Adams Fantastic Four page I'm putting up. I got a couple covers. I got a Capullo cover I'm putting up. I got a nice splash from Superman by Jurgens I'm going to put up. So, I'm trying to put up 5 or 6 a week. And then the last day, I want to put all the prices. And I think what I'm going to do is the morning of, I'm going to email everybody that signed up and let them see the prices first. But it won't be official for sale until, the show opens. So I might do that. So sign up, guys, whoever's out there.
Man, that's a hell of a job, Rob. You've got a lot of great art up there.
Thanks, man. I hope I sell a few. My daughter's getting married this year, and I promised her I'd pay for the wedding. So I need help, guys.
Congratulations.
Is it real? Nah, thanks. I'm kidding. Yeah, she's cool.
All right, real quick, just so we know it's working. James, why are you afraid of questions? I'm not, just certain ones. Why can't I beat fish in arm wrestling? The dude's he's wiry. He's got leverage. Weird, freakish hands. Why is James wearing a jacket? Oh, because I'm covering up my official OAX Megacox unofficial shirt. So I'll show you guys later. Okay, so we know questions answers working. Have you ever eaten a gator? Yes. All right, let's try this again.
I wasn't in love with gator.
It's good. Blackened?
I
Blackened
had
alligator?
whale as well.
You had a whale?
I had whale steak. It was weird. It's like a gamey, like fishy taste kind of thing.
I got a fun story real quick. When I first moved here 20 years ago, I'm kind of in the sticks. And we do got tons of gators. One of the first guys I met goes, "Hey, man, you hunt?" I go, "A little bit." And he goes, "Look, we're going to go have some fun. Bring a couple knives and a bow and arrow." Well, I didn't have a bow and arrow. I had a couple knives. Takes me out to the goddamn swamps. And when we get there, he goes, "We're hunting gator." And I'm like, "What?" And there's these 13 and 14 footers in this gigantic canal. It was crazy. But I will tell you, fresh gator tail, it was delicious. It was really, 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 really good. Oh.
All right. Well, there you go. Eat it with some whale steaks. We'll try this again. Steve, let's go. Let's start with round one. We've got a Catwoman by Travis, and I'll let you pronounce the last name because no matter what I say, someone's going to correct me.
Is it Cherished? Cherished. I'm going to guess. I'm looking at the comments. Anybody correcting me?
Cherished.
Oh yeah, some people say Trey. Yeah.
Okay. This guy is awesome, and I think if he would have continued to work in any sort of way, even as much as like Art Adams or something, he would have been top, one of the best comic artists of all times. But he's so off the radar and only does a little bit here and there. I forget about him all the time until I saw this piece. And I was like, man, I even looked up how much some of these commissions cost, and they're like, I think this one would probably be in the $1,700 to $2,000 range, and well spent. It looks like Travis Charest went and chiseled this instead of drew it. It looks like you can almost reach out and Catwoman anyway, make your joke as you want, but you can almost reach out and feel the detail of this picture. It is beautiful. He does this in a nice Art Nouveau way. The cross hatching, the way he plays with the light and the shadows and that fabric of her costume, man, that guy, the guy is awesome. He is incredible. And I just wish he would do more sequential art or even covers or something like that. But yeah, this one was one of the first picks out of anything that I saw when I looked through it. It is pretty jaw-dropping.
So I guess, Carl, why do you think this beautiful Travis Charest piece is not the best pick for the month?
I don't know. I love Travis. He's amazing. The only thing I question is how she's going to jump across rooftops with that bottom.
Good call.
That's my only.
He doesn't need to jump across rooftops wearing that, Carl.
Yeah. I guess this is for a different occasion.
If she's coming out
a night with Bruce.
If she's coming out of the bathroom like that, you're not going to ask that question.
All right. Any other comments, guys?
I think we all agree that Travis is awesome, but also the reason that we don't see him do really any sequential work is, from what I understand, he's become such a perfectionist that it takes him years to draw an issue if he does it. Not because he's some type of slacker or anything, but that his attention to detail, which you can see in the final product, is so incredible that he just labors over a page. I think that came to light when he was doing something for Humanoids years ago that just, I don't even know, it did eventually come out, but it took years. But I think, and this is wonderful because it's obviously the product of that talent, and he probably took a tremendous amount of time to do it. But at the same time, then, it's a beautiful picture, but it's, I think, it's not comic booky in terms of, sequential storytelling or, a cover that hopefully, tells a story or anything like that. So it's beautiful artwork, but, in terms of the true spirit of comics, I think it doesn't meet the criteria.
Call me crazy, but I don't think it's, I've never been a big Travis Charest fan. I know I'll get a lot of fingers and all that, but the piece, as pretty as the piece, as pretty as the piece is, I mean, I see her standing over that damn sewer that Marilyn Monroe was standing on, and seeing her dress blow up there. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but whatever.
It's gorgeous. You have no taste, Rob.
Fair enough. I call you my friend, James, so I know I don't have taste.
All right, what do we got? Number 2, Spawn 150 DPS by Philip Tan.
That's nice.
Yeah. This one was beautiful. This one really stood out to me. I think, James, you're a Spawn fan.
I am. I had a couple pieces before and I sold them, but I just recently bought a one I'm really, really happy about. So
it's funny because we didn't time it this way because I picked this a while back, but also feature Redeemer here, so that was kind of cool in this piece. Yeah, but Philip Tan, I don't know if you guys ever seen him at the cons, but he's always at the booth with Kurt, and Kurt obviously is like socializing and whatnot, but he always has his head down and he's drawing and he's just attacking commission pages, whatever else. This one just felt like a perfect picture of how you would think about the world of Spawn. So for me, it just really stood out as a piece that is worthy for us to.
So that's a wall separating heaven and hell. Is that what we're looking at? Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's basically the world of Spawn, I think, all encompassed.
Oh, that is cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Now that I mean, it took me a while. I don't think it has anything to do with the art itself. The scan's not great.
Yeah, not the best scan.
But it looks like a handbook of the image universe kind of picture, where you would have this here, and then it would give you a little blurb of text at the side explaining the Spawn universe. But this is a poster you would have in your room when you were like 16 years old. You know, This is like, so it fits.
No, again, big. You know, it's funny. I read the first about 50 Spawn books, but it was the HBO cartoon. Kind of like the X-Men cartoon.
So
Maybe just a cartoon guy, not a comic guy. But I read them too. All right, Tim Sale. Beautiful line work. What do we got, Michael?
Yeah, so this is a page from Tim Sale, who I think people probably most closely associate with his Batman work, The Long Halloween, Dark Victory. Universally loved, I think, and left us way too soon when he passed a couple of years ago. I love this page because it's sort of the opposite of what he's best known for in terms of, Batman is all, darkness and grim, and this is, so light and playful. You have Hawkman and Hawkgirl, the Golden Age version, in their civilian identities. And you see Hawkman knocking on the door. You have, I think, with this one page, it tells a story in and of itself. You don't even need to know what came before. It's clearly Hawkman, Carter Hall did something to annoy Hawkgirl. She's waiting there, with the spatula in hand. He asks her forgiveness. She looks like she's accepting, and you can take what you will from that last panel there. And I like in that middle panel as well, you can see the Hawkgirl helmet in the background. But this is something that works as both a story but it also evokes to me, the time period beautifully in which it's supposed to take place in terms of the Golden Age. And it looks like it could have even been used as like an advertisement for, flowers or something like that at that time. So it just goes to show, what a huge, amazing talent Sale was.
She might forgive him now, but she'll bring it back up later. You can guarantee that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's my teenage boy imagination getting away from me, but I can't help but imagine the next panel being her dressing up in that Catwoman lingerie to kind of take this to the next level.
To jump on rooftops.
Or when she turns around, she has no back and it's assless chaps.
Not for subtlety there, Rob.
You guys told me before the show I can't use any 4-letter words. Assless
no, you have 12 4-letter words you can use.
Assless is strategically.
No, you're good. You're good. That doesn't count.
Okay.
That's awesome. Somebody asked me if I'd buy any art today, and it's listed as Rich Donnelly. So anyone, Jason D'Ambrosia is probably Rich Donnelly, because that's a question he would ask. And the answer is yes. I bought something from Jurassic Park.
From the top comic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, the first one. Okay. Lobo versus Wolverine. Yeah. The DC and Marvel's bad boys, right?
Hell yeah. I mean, two badasses, duking it out. Should have done that crossover in the 90s when they were so hot. Well, Wolverine is still hot, but that would have been a great one back then. Val Simmons, he did I don't know if it was a miniseries or an actual run, but I remember him drawing Lobo a lot in the 90s, and it just came out awesome. And he did a couple Wolverine covers or a couple issues. So to see him do both of them together fighting, let me just make it a little bit bigger here. Yeah, that's a killer action. It's a great piece. It exudes 90s battle. I love it.
You're a Wolvie fan, but who would win?
I would think Wolverine would, because he keeps regenerating. I mean, adamantium claws to Lobo's throat, he's dead. So yeah. I think Wolverine.
Lobo regenerates though too, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I'm a big Lobo fan, but
Wolverine fan.
but Lobo tanks this dude.
Lobo's Superman level, isn't he? Like,
Yeah.
He's Superman level. But if you guys have you guys read the latest Wolverine vs. Predator? I mean,
no.
Not to spoil.
Oh yeah, he kind of face melted off.
Yeah, he melts his whole head, like brain and everything, and he's just a skull, and he survives. So I'm guessing Wolverine will come back.
Yeah.
Even if he...
Wolverine is almost godlike powers now in terms of his regenerative ability.
I thought they didn't he come back from a drop of blood in one annual? It was I can't remember what it was, but it was like late 80s. I think he came back from a drop of blood.
I'm gonna click on this one for 4 seconds just because it cracks me up. Oh, not that one. And we're done.
We're not going to hear too much from that guy anymore, so we might as well get the jokes in.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Margaret, Legion 89.
Rough.
That was a great book.
We break the rules. Okay, our first vote.
All right,
guys. You guys can vote too. Pop up your Slidos.
I will.
Pop up your Slidos. That sounds wrong too. Let's see. Go to the polling. And let's see who's going to win. We got Catwoman. That spawned DPS when I initially put it on there. I didn't really look at the detail on it as far as what it represented. It's fantastic. Tim Sale.
I would love to see that in person.
Let's see, 7. Let's see how many people are in the chat. 51. We're at least 25. At least half of you guys.
It's half. Come on, guys, vote.
Oh, and it's ranked choice, by the way. So you do first, second, third, fourth.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Q&A.
That way, one doesn't run away. Well, ranked choice is always just better to go. QA, while we wait, those people that ask.
Number one Marvel fan has a good point. Put the none of the above box in there.
That's true.
No, do your diplomatic duties, man. You're a citizen of Cap. Oh, Wolverine, Lobo are my teenage heroes.
Did anyone read that series? Like, how did it end? Lobo versus Wolverine.
They said Wolverine won.
Was there a series?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Catwoman.
Yeah, the DC versus Marvel crossover.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
All access something.
Yeah, Aquaman beat Namor by having a whale land on him.
But you got the vote for it, so of course Wolverine beat Lobo because it was. I think you got to mail it in or something.
Yeah.
Well, that page with the whale landing on Namor just sold on HA.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Aquaman kicks his ass, but he could have done it in other ways. Having a whale land on him was kind of lame.
I got a page from Matt where Robin ties up and crosses, I believe.
There's some good art from those series floating around, and it's not easy to find that stuff either. It doesn't go on sale too often.
So which one do you guys think you won?
I would imagine Travis Charis won because you got a bunch of lamos.
Anyone else?
I'll second Rob.
Well.
And we are.
Oh wow, Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Travis.
You're all too predictable, especially when you got Marcus White leading the way.
Marcus
3 phones. Marcus got 3 phones.
The Green Goblins that present themselves.
All right, let's do this.
No, we'll just keep on going. Round 2. Man, almost everybody picked this one except for Carl.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about you, Carl, but it's still a great piece.
A little bit more my time.
But Steve picked it first, so you got it, Steve.
Yeah, I came in. Thursday I had this stuff ready for you, but this one's a no-brainer. I almost feel like I'll just sit back and say nothing and let you guys talk about it because it's that good. Nobody's going to sit there and be like, other than that weird white arrow going through the side of it. Past that, this piece is perfect. Looking at it, if you were to ever ask somebody ask you about Joe Kubert, you would show them this piece. You'd be like, this would be the piece you would show them, so they would almost learn entirely about how wonderful a draftsman Joe Kubert was, like, and how good he was, and why he created a school. Look at the layout of this, the way all the X's are behind him floating around, so that you can focus right. You can focus right on the Sergeant Rock character. His facial expression is sitting there staring at you. He's in anguish, but he's also, you can almost feel a little nervousness with what he's drawing. You have the dead Nazis laying in front of him in the foreground. Kubert makes this look effortless and also this iconic at the same time. He's amazing. Like I said, I don't see anybody complaining or telling, that this isn't probably might be the best piece out of everything that was posted.
But how you know it's Nazis? Didn't he fight in the Vietnam War? You sure those are Nazis? I don't see any swastikas.
Yeah, he's on the beach.
I don't know how much Sergeant Rock you read.
Somewhere on the beach.
With the beach landing.
Yeah.
Great piece. Great piece.
And this was the theme or the thumbnail for the chat, and I didn't see it at first, and then I went back and looked when I was doing this, putting this together, and like, it's nice.
It's really
I don't know the comic.
I saw it, and as I was going through all the pieces, this image just kept was just imprinted in my brain, and I'm not a Warhammer player, but there's been a lot of news surrounding Henry Cavill going to Amazon, setting up this deal. And then also I have a few friends who are hardcore Warhammer fans. And I didn't have a chance to look this up, but for not knowing anything about Warhammer, this piece is really, really spoke to me. I just thought it was deserving too. We don't get a lot of non-comic art. So I don't know if this was actually a comic as well. It was, right? It's a comic of a game. And it just spoke to me in a really cinematic.
Have any of you guys ever played Warhammer?
I did. Used to have a game in the store. We used to do the Warhammer 40K where you'd set it up and you'd use the actual pieces to move across. It was awesome. It was a real good time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of their cinematics and they're really well done. I think comparable to Wizards of the Coast, they do a lot of things for their sets. The Warhammer cinematics also tie into a story, so it's very watchable. Highly recommend it if you guys ever have time.
Awesome. I just remember the video games. I always alternative media.
I didn't know it had video games. I for the longest time I thought it was just the role playing games. I didn't know it was video games too.
Just the role playing, yeah, the role playing, big builds.
All right, Michael. I did not know what this was at all. Death Metal Secret Origin. Kind of a educator.
What the hell is this?
So this is Jerry Ordway, who I feel is one of the best comic book storytellers of his generation, but because he doesn't have a flashy style, I think he got overshadowed by the Image generation of artists that came along not too long after him. What we have here for the DC fans amongst us, which I know that there are quite a few in the chat who are not, this is sort of the epilogue to the story of Superboy Prime, which goes back to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And then they turned him into a villain in Infinite Crisis, which was really idiotic. And then this story was sort of a redemption tale for him. And it was Crypto, the super dog, that brings him back. And here, this is the Superboy of Earth Prime, where there are no superheroes. This is supposed to be the world where the DC comic book readers live, who read the adventures of the superheroes. So here at the end, he's reunited with Crypto of his universe. And, it's 9-panel grid, which I'm a sucker for, whether it's Watchmen or Keith Giffen's work on the Legion of Superheroes. And I think, once again, as I said, with the Tim Sale Hawkman piece, you can sort of tell what the story is without dialogue, without knowing what came before, even if you just see it as a boy being reunited with his dog. So that's why I picked this. That being said, the Sergeant Rock cover is pretty unbeatable.
You're too sophisticated for us, Michael.
Jason D'Ambrosio just texted me and said, Ordway who? The broad in the middle has a flat ass. Next.
He's a teenage girl.
That was Jason, James.
Good thing you wanted to keep that between you and Rob. Hey, Mike, I want to say thank you for calling. Like, so far, you have picked some stuff I would never pick, and I love your explanation, and I can hear you talk about panels and sequence and everything else. You're a great addition.
Thank you.
I was going to say that. Like, I love the way you pull sequentials. That really tells a story. I think
Thanks.
It's powerful.
You like your Wolverines
surprise.
I gotta tell you, Mike. Thanks for that softball because you just gave me a home run to follow that. What am I going to say? It's freaking awesome. It's Weapon X. You know, you can't lose after you follow that Ordway piece.
What is that on Weapon X's crotch?
I'm kidding. I love the panel page because I actually just bought one from Adam. It's like a 12 or 15 panel page. It's beautiful. I love the storytelling. I'm only busting your chops, Michael, because we haven't met.
That's all right.
Is that a COD? Is that a COD computer? Computer? What is that?
A COD-puter.
COD-puter?
I have no idea.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, it's
you gotta hang it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you say? It's freaking awesome. It looks great. He's, it's I don't know who the artist is, but I thought it looked beautiful. You know?
Yeah. Does it mean I take orders?
The Wolverine sack. Wow.
Really nice, Michael.
Apparently, that helmet was inspired by the Predator's helmet.
Tracking vitals. Oh.
Wow, Texas Instruments.
I almost wanted to stay on this one. What else we got? All right. Okay. Well, let's go to round 2 vote.
Wow.
I think Codpiece is going to run away with this one, right? No. Pull up your phones and vote. We've got Sergeant Rock, Warhammer 40,000, Death Metal Secret Dog, and Wolverine with Wolverine.
I think that would have worked better with a nice shadow instead of, but to each their own.
Yeah, I would tell you though, can you get 4 more different pieces right here?
So different, yeah. I was gonna say so much contrast. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna change things up. Behold your golden cod. Now let me go QA and see. How obnoxious? Yep, pretty much. Anything else? A lot of sea level art picked on this one. People like what they like.
Yeah. It's all subjective or whatever the hell that saying is.
My thing is, if you don't like the picks, then you should have been on the show.
Exactly.
If the 5 of you fought to the death, who wins? I don't know. I think Carl.
100% Carl.
I just think he'll end up on top somehow.
I don't know, man. That's Sergeant Rock.
I mean, knowing this crowd, they're gonna go with the Ordway panel piece.
It's possible too.
DC, though, there's a lot of anti-DC sentiment.
Yeah, but Mike, you gave a passionate, story about it. So I think you're gonna win this one hands down.
Great sell. Mine was just all like the pieces move me. There's zero nostalgia, so I don't think it's even in the run. So
yeah,
it does make you choose all 4 because I selected the option to make you choose all 4.
Oh,
you have it. So down with DC. You want to call it? Go to the next round?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sergeant Rock. So you're in there twice now, Steve.
Nice.
I will say, like 2 other people picked it too. So you got to get your picks in.
So we're all winners, really.
We're all winners, except Carl didn't pick it.
Yeah, Warhammer.
Carl winners.
I'm just happy he made it to the front page.
Everyone should collect DC. Hey, I found out, somebody told me, and they try to convince me I was wrong when I said I didn't know DC, but I've got Preacher pages. They're like, nope, that's DC. I'm like, okay.
Well, you can make the argument that's Vertigo. They used to be. I remember back in the late '90s, in college, people, when comics were not necessarily as accepted as they are today. But people who didn't otherwise read comics read Vertigo books, and they'd be like, "Oh, but it's Vertigo. It's different." That somehow made it okay.
The kids are reading.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, Steve. Man, I told you had some great picks, dude.
That's great.
What the hell is that? Optimus Prime.
Is anybody reading David Warren Johnson's Transformers right now?
Yeah, it's really good. It's very.
It is. I mean, I don't know if I'm in love with this piece as much as I am with the artwork in that book right now. David is able to take the past and nostalgia of Transformers, if you collect it, and really take that and still work with it and modernize it right now. And it has a feel of old school with some more modern comic art sensibilities, and he's running away with it. It is probably one of the best sequential books. No one should like Transformers. Thanks, Marcus. It's one of the best sequential books you can get on the stands right now. I think it's at issue 3. Pick it up. It's really, really good. They're building a universe together with G.I. Joe right now. And
Void Rivals.
Yeah, and Void Rivals and whoever else they get in. And like I said, I don't know if this was like, there are some better, I would say.
Well, I know the history of this one.
Yeah.
So this piece was at Heroes, and Daniel Warren Johnson submitted it for the Heroes auction. I actually, about auctioning or bidding on the auction, but it got held off to the Sunday auction. And so a buddy of ours, Rob Roush, he won it. Couple things. This was done before it was announced DWJ was going to be on the Transformers. So that's kind of cool. He did, he knew he was going to be on it, but the world didn't. And this is also massive. It is a big, big piece. So, granted, is it the detail that you would see of Optimus Prime in a comic? No, but that's kind of the history.
I'm probably in the minority here, but it looks like he drew it with his wang. I don't get it. Oh, that's a 4-letter word. Darn. Sorry.
Like a color sketch, but big. It's like
Wiener. Is that better? Wiener.
Yeah, he's talented.
Yeah, he's very talented. I was chasing Rob for it. I think there's something to do with his writing that helps, because I was chasing Rob for it, because as soon as he got it, oh my God, I need this. But then when I show my wife, she kind of said what Rob said. Was like, what the fuck? Look like a 5-year-old drew this.
Yeah,
people said the same thing about Sienkiewicz, but I think he's fallen in his footsteps.
And they were right.
I don't remember right. I didn't know that. We got it at a pretty good deal.
And the guy signed at my comic shop and signed Transformers #1. Daniel did, and signed it to my son. And he's super nice guy too, like 100%, nice guy. Really, really sweetheart. So,
okay, Carl's next.
So I've been really into these like pieces that move me. This one kind of also reminds me of I think it's like a 50-year anniversary Art Adams cover that he did with the Joker in the middle, but with like all these other like monkey characters. So this one is kind of similar composition. But I think after watching the recent Batman and how the Penguin has kind of like now stepped up into this villain role, I'm kind of curious as to like, cinematically, if this kind of ties in somehow for me. So I just really like it with all the birds too. Massive birds, more than just
yeah. And they're all different. I think they're all each a different bird.
Reminds me of Brian Boland cover.
Yeah, a little Boland. Yeah.
Ricardo Latina.
It's funny. I'm getting all the funny texts. Mikkel just texted me and said, "If you have Jason shave his beard and put a top hat on him, this looks like him." Freaking Mikkel.
Oh, We
Where'd
just
he go?
lost,
Wait, we just
lost him out.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, there he goes.
Took off.
There he is.
He dropped his camera.
all the private messages to Rob so that he could just repeat them.
I don't know why. Freaking guys. It's actually a cool piece. I like that a lot. It does look a little like Brian Bolland's art. Absolutely beautiful.
I'm just gonna say it. And what is a Zubaz?
I don't know. What's that?
I don't know.
Aren't those pants from the 90s?
If I'm gonna wear Zubaz at OAX. Like,
Oh yeah, those are the like the zebra pattern big MC Hammer type pants.
if I had some, I would.
You're too young for those. Rob knows what I'm talking about. I bet.
Hell yeah. Those and the freaking Z Cavaricis. I wasn't fat always. I wore that shit.
All right. Come on. Oh, click this one. Here you go. Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is the Transformers round, I see. So this, I mean, it's just probably the most nostalgic piece for me and probably for a lot of other children of the 80s out of everything that was posted to the Sketchbook gallery. It obviously evokes the poster for the movie. It's Don Perlin, who worked, I think, on the regular books as well. So sort of a classic, Transformers, Marvel, Valiant artist. It has all those, what do you call it? Third generation, is it? Transformers. And you got Rodimus Prime, you got RC, or not Rodimus Prime, Hot Rod and Ultra Magnus. But at the same time, if you're like me, it also brings back traumatic feelings that I try to repress because I still can't get over being in that movie theater the weekend this movie came out and seeing all my Autobot heroes being mercilessly butchered by the Decepticons, and then Optimus Prime dying in what has to be one of the best, most emotional movie deaths in all of film. This to me, it's real nostalgia, and I think wasn't even the cover of Recent Heritage catalog.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a piece of, I would say, has some historic importance behind it.
It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. And then you were mentioning the movie. Yeah, Optimus Prime, of course, wrecked our childhoods, but I always go back to the, all the other Autobots, Ironhide and everything, just basically got mowed down and unceremoniously dumped like nothing.
What was absurd though was that in the regular cartoon, these Autobots would be, blown up all the time, and then they just get fixed and they'd be fine. And in the movie, it's like one shot, and you see the life go out of their eyes. I mean,
they all get better, just so you know.
You know what? And that's why our generation is stronger. We lived through those traumatic movies. You don't see the My Little, or what's Trolls. I don't see like the trolls eating each other or something. What they do. Anyway, I love this pick.
Great cover.
It's not hyperbole, Popsicle.
Nice.
This really did traumatize me as a kid.
Yeah, classic Jay right here.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Jay Lee. That's I guess it's from the 90s, a killer splash page. When he came around back in the 90s, he had a style, but I thought it was a little similar to some of Simon Bisley's stuff back then. But it was fresh for Marvel. I loved his art back in the day. I know he's a little more refined now and he's cleaned it up, but that old school crap is great. I love it. And that's a very cool image of Archangel. I wish I could be as eloquent as McIsaac, but I'm not. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
I love this one too. This was actually one of my pieces that I.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of when we each picked 6 narrative,
because I'm going to make fun of it shortly.
I'm sort of arguing against my own piece by arguing in favor of this one, but I mean, this is also, I think, sort of where like Jay Lee sort of caught fire with the fans. I mean, I think a lot of us were introduced to him in Namor, which was a shock to the system, after Byrne's first 25 issues, what a shift in style. But when he started doing, some X book stuff, especially with the Initial Image guys, around that time jumping ship, it really helped keep the energy in those books alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love his art, and when he was on Extinction Agenda, he did a couple of X-Men books, I think it was, or Uncanny. I thought his art was fantastic. And in my store, I remember selling the hell out of his stuff because people loved his art. And Namor, huge bump when he took it over. I like his art back in the day, not so much now.
Is he walking? Is he walking through hot coals here? Is that what he's doing? Is he walking?
Pirouetting around the lasers, dude. He's just
he's dodging lasers.
Hot. Okay.
I think he's trying out for Lord of the Dance, that Irish.
I was getting a little bit of a Flashdance feeling.
John Wynn or JN80, it's in his gallery. So if you're not following John's gallery, he's a big Marvel and DC villain fan. But he always finds some nice stuff.
It's a great piece.
All right. So we are on, round 3. We are almost done, guys. This one's, for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm just going to be a biased judge because it's our last show. I mean, it's always DC all the time. All right. Anything you want to sway the audience with?
Yeah, if you're voting for Wiener Transformer, you guys are nuts. You guys should have your comic art fans license.
I'm trying for 3 here, Rob.
Transformers was a gateway book in the 80s. I mean, those licensed books.
I'm not talking about the cover. I'm talking about the Daniel Warren Johnson.
The painting.
Yeah, the painting. Transformers was fun. I enjoyed the movies. I enjoyed the comics back in the days. I used to get the toys. I'm just talking about that painting. That's, I don't get it.
This is a cover.
He did it at the con. I heard he did it at the con as well. So, something experimental. So,
this is a good round, though. It's a hard round.
Yeah, it's a hard round. I actually really like that Candy X-Men a lot.
All right, we're gonna keep the 25. Any more? Going once? Going twice?
I expect to see a 0 next to that.
Penguin was number 2. I'm surprised. Good job, DC fans.
Penguin was good. That was a good one.
It was gorgeous, yeah. Uncanny X-Men. Man, you're dead last, Rob.
A story of my life, brother.
All right. Yeah, Transformers the movie. That, I think it's going to be a tough. I got a feeling. Well, we'll see what round 4 is, but some Sergeant Rock versus Transformers. Oh, the Catwoman's gorgeous too. We're shipping up to a good final round.
Real quick, just wanted to answer Michael here. Just because I don't get it, it doesn't mean it's crap. Yes, it does mean it's crap for me. I mean, no one else's opinion matters. Mine does to me, and I think it's crap. We can have a chat about it at OAX. I think it's crap.
It's going down.
It reminds me of the Saturday Night Live sketch. If it's not
Michael Patrick Sullivan.
Socked in the stomach. All right. Round 4. I had no idea who this was, what it was. But I thought it was a gorgeous pick.
Nice.
Just from
Michael Flatley.
Have you seen Better Bricks? I haven't seen Better Bricks.
Great
balance. It looks like Bernie Wrightson.
It does look like Bernie Wrightson.
That's nice.
This was one of those. When I saw through it, I saw it. I looked up the name and went to Comic Art Tracker right away to see if there's anything I could purchase by this guy because it was that good. You ever see an artist and you're just like, I need to see if there's anything else I can purchase from this person? This thing's amazing. Yet again, I wish the scan was bigger. Even when I clicked on it, it wouldn't blow up like I would want to. But even with as small DPI as it is still really, really, really cool to look at. It's based off a Robert E. Howard 1954 story by with Red Sonja. So I had no idea that Red Sonja originally looked like that and didn't wear the bikini chainmail right from the get-go, and it made me want to even just kind of delve into some of these stories. But the way that he's playing with the negative space and the positive space and the way the chewed up brick, the Brick steals the show away from even the Red Sonja character through this, which is, how many times are you going to say, the background is better? You can even tell the difference between the regular Brick and the Brick with the moss and that's soiled. Even the little hidey hole that you can see through it as she's standing up on this wall. It is. I would love to see this one in person, or even just own it. It also, the other fun part of it, it kind of reminded me of really, really old school Dungeons and Dragons illustrations.
Yeah,
I'd imagine you would see this opening up the player's guide, or like in the second page or whatever, and having the table of contents there. It would fit in really, really well in Dragon Magazine. I just really enjoyed it. Now, as Michael might say about it, it really doesn't scream comic art, and it is true. But man, it doesn't matter. It's just really, really beautiful illustration.
Great piece.
Someone mentioned that he left the comic business and went to the movie business, and it kind of reminded me now. I actually met him before. I went to one of his knife fighting classes. So he knife fighting classes for this like Filipino style knife fighting, and he hosted for like Hollywood producers.
Hey,
are you making that up, Carl?
It's like a networking thing. And so him and another TV writer, they do this class. And
remember when we said somebody asked
they do it
who
all
would win if we all fought?
And that's why I met
somebody asked if we win, if we all fought, who would win? And I said Carl.
You're right.
Because he knows Filipino knife fighting.
Yeah.
I did not have that on my bingo card for this one, Carl.
So there's a little added bonus there. This guy can weld a knife. The bricks themselves. I mean, it's like.
So you better pick them.
Yeah.
That seems like a dangerous hobby for an artist. Like one little slip up, and there goes your livelihood.
So speaking of picking me, I think this one really stood out. I think it was one of Annabelle's artists, Andrea Cucci.
Yeah, this is great.
Spider-Punk. I mean, it's just. I'm not a huge Spider-Man guy, but I think this last Across the Spider-Verse, this character really stood out. I think not just for myself, but for many others. I've definitely seen a ton of this art show up. When I meet kids who love Spider-Man, they always say, "Oh, Spider-Punk." And when we were the last, several Comic-Cons this year, I kept seeing people dress up as him. But this one really stood out for me. I just felt like composition, it really takes in the whole punk rock aesthetics, even in the background itself, with like the magazine cover or something you would see on like an Obey T-shirt. I could almost hear the music looking at this. So, and I've seen it pop up in a few chats as well.
This thing's awesome. Somebody streamlined about 48 hours of Bad Religion and listened to that and really, really knocked it out of the park. The coolest part of it is it looks like the cartoon with all those little white streaks and everything around it. Yeah, somebody really loves this character, whoever did it, and probably watched that movie about 3 times.
Good stuff. Let's see. He should hold a knife.
Yeah, I know. That's where all the slits from his pants come from.
Michael, man, you're killing them with these picks. What do we got?
This is from our friend Rob R's gallery, which he has an incredible gallery and is the king of cosmic Ghostwriter art, but he has good taste when it comes to other art as well, as demonstrated here. I mean, Assad is sort of can be hit or miss for me, but here he definitely hit. I mean, this is the Thor that I want to see, a powerful Thor. I mean, this looks to me like it could have been used as like a paperback cover for like a Robert E. Howard type of Thor story. It's a nice counter to the image of Thor that I think permeates popular culture today, thanks to the MCU movies. I mean, I like those films, but they've turned Thor into a bit of a comic relief, kind of a goof character. And this to me, brings Thor back to his Nordic roots, his god power. Don't mess with him, and just the image is, it's a phenomenal cover. I mean, he's sort of wading in blood, about to, something's just appeared behind him, and he's turning around, about to smite whatever foe dares cross him. So real powerful piece. Jason, that's perfect. Thor in the movies is Hercules in the 80s comics. I never thought of that, but you're 100% right.
Huh. I bet you the colors are fantastic in person. I've got a cheap monitor next to my nice laptop monitor, and I can see the contrast between them, and that's just monitor difference. I bet you just be gorgeous.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to see it in Heroes when we go visit Rob in his little gathering.
That red pops.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. All right, Rob. It's your last chance, buddy. Pick a good one.
That's awesome.
Pick a good one.
Come on. Sinister Six, one of the best supervillain groups ever. Maybe even the best. Great piece. It's I don't know the artist, but I think it's gorgeous the way they use the paints on each one. Looks different. I don't know. It's beautiful. Again, I'm not as eloquent as the rest of my panel mates, so I'll just keep it simple. They look awesome.
I have a question for you, Rob. It came from the chat. Do you exfoliate?
Absolutely. My nuts.
Fair enough. Well, I'll go through that conversation later.
That is
don't ask a question you don't want an answer for.
I always feel Electro looks kind of goofy, but this artist makes that costume work.
Yeah.
And the vulture in the background looking real dark and ominous. He's just a dude that flies. I don't know. I thought it was real good.
Yeah, Craven and the Sandman just look like they have attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Mysterio's head looks like water. Looks like a water drop. Or a bowling ball.
Round 4. All right. This is the final voting round. Well, besides the championship one. Round 4 vote.
All right.
Let's be voting, guys. This was another tough round. All right, audience, type the one you think is the winner in the chat.
I'm
Voting's not working?
I think it's Spider-Punk. That's my
No, it's working. It's absolutely working. I just want to see what they're thinking.
I like the Raphael cannon. That's, again, I look at those bricks and it reminds me of Bernie Wrightson. Beautiful.
I'm got to. Oh. With a knife. You're a hardcore LA Californian there, Carl.
Personally, I use a dull knife.
Oh my God.
I use a spoon.
Wow.
I was going to say that next.
Rusty lawnmower blade. Marcus just likes to take it to the next level.
More. Well, he's chopped too much off by now. Let's see, we've got 27. Four,
lots of votes for this one.
28. Yep. Get them coming. Think we got one more on us? Countdown 5. Oh, spork.
Can we get to 30?
29?
Let's get to 30. One more, guys. One more. Whoever hasn't voted yet, vote.
The panel, you guys voted? Steve?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Here we go. I don't even know I have no idea what's going to win this one.
Whoa.
Oh, that's close.
Nice. 4. Interesting.
4. Woo! Skin
I
of the
thought it was
teeth.
going to be either Red Sonja or Spider-Punk, judging from the chat.
Yeah. So what this means, so Steve's got 2, Michael's got 2. So Carl, you're teamed up with Steve. Rob, you're teamed up with Michael when we go to the final round.
Okay.
Sounds good. Now I got a
All right.
chance.
Yep, I got to go build it. Oh, my picks, by the way, my 3 host picks. We're going to a couple things. I picked this Dark Phoenix. This is by my friend Casey owns this one. I thought it was just a gorgeous representation of Dark Phoenix. Actually, I didn't pick this one. This was an old one. Yeah, it's a old slide. But I picked this one last time. I picked that one. This is.
I kind of knew you would pick that one for some reason. It's weird.
That's nice.
I know.
I'm getting dizzy just looking at it.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
nice.
A little bit of vertigo, right?
I like it. It's trippy.
I thought it was really good. And Stegman, Stegman's fantastic. But this is, I haven't really seen Stegman do something like this.
Isn't that checkerboard thing like Trad Moore's thing?
I have it reminded me of a Trad Moore piece that I have actually.
Okay. While I do the this is for the intermission. There's a couple things. I want you guys. I'm going to go create the final round. So pull out all the winners. So I'm going to be logged off for a bit. I want you to talk about predictions and goals for collecting in 2024. What do you guys plan on doing? What are some holes in your collection you're looking to fill? How do you see the markets fluctuating or going? Just general discussion, and then I will jump right back in.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, Steve, you're our fearless leader. Lead away.
Right now, I'm kind of, and Alberto knows because I told him, I'm kind of looking for a Zek piece, but it doesn't have to be Captain America, or if it is Captain America, it could be, some oddball villains or something on there, but I'm looking for a nice Zek. It could be even a Batman pinup or a Punisher pinup, so that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm kind of giving up getting any like really high profile Captain America stuff from him, but I've been looking for that, and also maybe a Wally Wood illustration. But even if something that's like 5x7, just a quick draw, not a quick drawing, but just a nice like space drawing of a rocket ship by Wally Wood, that would make me happy right there. So those are a couple things. As far as predictions are going, I think nice pieces are going to still skyrocket. They're going to stay the same prices. Middle pieces might go down a little bit, and then I think a lot of people bought almost anything they could during COVID, and that's the bottom's going to drop out of some of that stuff. If it's not a great example or even a good example, it's going to get a little stagnant.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent with what I'm seeing as well. Predictions wise, I don't know. I think for me at least, I'm just in a bit of a transition. I feel like I have always been like a huge fan of modern art. Really just like buying what moves me or like the stories that speaks to me. But in the recent year, this last year, I've kind of gone the nostalgia bug, because I think when I first started, back in 2018, all the nostalgia pieces that I loved just felt out of reach. And so I started collecting the modern, but I felt like in the last few years, the modern stuff has caught up price-wise to the nostalgic stuff. So I feel like recently this year, I've been buying stuff on nostalgia that I loved growing up in the 90s that basically cost the same, if not less, than some of the modern stuff I was buying. And so it's definitely been like a weird transition.
90s is hot right now. A lot of 90s X-Men, even Darkhawk pages, anything from 90s. Yep. All those people have gotten older and they want to get a little piece of their childhood back.
Yeah, and they're still kind of young, the 90s fans. They're not in their late 40s and early 50s. They're those late 30s guys that still got to get in their money. So I think there's a lot of – I used to get into arguments with people probably 15, 20 years ago about 90s art, and they would love to call it Drek, Maybe, not 2008, 2010, there's a few guys on Comic Art Fans that love calling it Drek. I never understood where they got this opinion from, because ultimately, like I told the dude earlier, it's what you like. And the 90s were so influential for a lot of us because it really, you had your big artists come out. I know Jack Kirby and all those guys are huge, but let's think about it. Not to be grim, all those fans are at the twilight of their life. They're dying, it's so you're going to see those prices, in my opinion, come down. And a lot of that 90s, early 2000s stuff is going to keep coming up. The big pieces, the pieces that are hard to get, the grails, I think you're going to get premium money still. But yeah, I agree with Steve. I think the middle is going to come down some. And as for what I want, I don't really know. When I see it, I buy it pretty much.
I'm the same way. As I can find something when I get offline and buy it right now, and I don't even know I was looking for it. But when you click that button, you pay a little bit extra, you get that page.
Yeah. I always say, what leads me to buy a piece is if it sets off like my spidey sense. Yeah, I see it, and there's that tingle, and it's like, oh, I gotta get that.
Yeah, you know when you know, you know. Anything you're looking for, Michael? Any bucket list stuff? Any 2024 stuff?
I mean, I've been trying to refocus a bit. I've actually been, selling off some stuff lately. My criteria is basically like, do I have any emotional connection to the piece at all? And if the answer is no, it's like, all right, that one's got to go. And in terms of my goals for this year, like to continue what I did last year, which is I've been trying to pick up pages or like one page from each of like the first issues of books that I bought. So like last year, I got a page from the first West Coast Avengers I ever bought, first New Mutants I ever bought, first Superman comic I ever bought. So that for me is sort of where it's at right now.
Nice. I don't remember any of those. The first comics that I bought. I bought some.
Oh, I do. My first Fantastic Four I ever got is the one where the Skrulls turn them old. They shoot them with the guns, and they.
Oh yeah.
And if I ever just a page from that ever popped up, it would be hard for me to pass that up. But that's one of the first comics I ever got.
Mine was I think Wolverine Limited Series was one of the first comics I got.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that one, Carl.
I know, pretty far away from that one. So
if anybody's got a page from that for Carl, contact them.
Yeah, please look it up.
That's funny, Carl, because that was my first book too. I remember being in the airport, and my mom, said, "Hey, it's a long flight. You got to read something." And I was like, "I hate reading. I don't want books." And she went and got me those little 4-packs, and the whole Wolverine miniseries was in it. And I was hooked ever since then. I was a kid.
Oh, you were done. You were done.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I mean, I didn't know Frank Miller from Boo, but I just, I love the storytelling about it. I love the art, and that was my first comic book experience, my first comic book I read, and I remember it like yesterday.
All right. Well, I'm going to try something new on the last Sketchbook show from an audience participation standpoint. So hopefully you still have your Slido. One of the features of Slido is called a word cloud. So audience, and this is going to probably be a damn disaster. You can go to Slido and put one word. How do you describe how you feel about OA collecting in 2024? And let's see what happens. We'll start slow, balls, Wangmas, expensive. You can, yep. Oh, too expensive. Focused, optimistic,
scared.
Divorced.
Wangamus.
I don't mean to laugh at divorced. I'm sorry.
Wangerlicious.
Yeah, I know. I mean, what do you expect from this audience?
Yeah, mess.
Is it the audience or is it just Marcus?
Man,
is the Hembeck hot streak going to continue in 24? I mean, those sketch card prices really took off in the last year.
Yeah, that blows my mind. I don't understand how people are paying so much for a little. What are they? 3x5, 2x4s? I don't even know. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not a fan of all of them. But then again, there's a lot of things I'm not a fan of. But I don't understand the popularity of those damn little sketch cards. I just don't get it.
It's funny. So Slido, the company that I work for, of course, owns Slido. That's how we have access to the account. One of the things people don't realize is, the company I work for is the largest internet security company on the planet. And we actually normalize all the IP addresses to the home computers, and we de-randomize it. So we know everyone's name. Like I can go in and pull the report, and it'll tell exactly who asked all the questions or do all the Slidos.
Wow.
No, not really.
I don't think you want to know, James.
Yeah, I don't want
Mannix is the future, huh? I think Mannix is doing it.
Mannix is the new Hembeck.
So this is a wonderful representation of our audience. It looks like 2020. If you can take one word to describe 2024, I guess it's Wang.
Well, Mannix, his commission price is going to double after tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the experiment. Wonderful calf audience. And we'll continue with something I've been looking forward to for a few months now. The Mega Cox 2024 unofficial t-shirt. So here's the story on this one. I was at Heroes and I was like, Bill, you know, fortunately it's not going to be called Mega Cox, it's OAX, but you know, it's rife for innuendo. And do you remember in the 90s, those Big Johnson t-shirts? You know, they were terrible, but everyone wore them to like school. We had kids wearing them to school, and I was in, you know, junior high and high school, where it was all about innuendo. So I was like, I'm going to make a Mega Cox Big Johnson type t-shirt. And I've got 50 of them or so. I have no idea if what I'm doing, selling them, giving them away, donate, you know, doing them for donations. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to bring 50 of these t-shirts for the first unofficial Mega Cox t-shirt. And so I asked one of my artist friends, you might know him, Aranga. I was like, here's my idea. I want Bill Cox dressed in a Thor uniform, sitting on a throne with a hammer, Thor's hammer between his legs with a handle sticking straight up, and a random floozy trying to pull the handle up because she can't because it's Thor's hammer. Can you do it? Can you do it? Aranga freaking did it. So got my Mega Cox t-shirt.
I think Bill's gonna look at this one day and know this is the point in his life he plateaued.
It's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here, Bill. If you're watching, this is as good as it gets right here, buddy.
There's another one too that came from
here, I'm gonna,
that came from our Mankini's chat group. I forgot who put it up, but someone threw it on the site. And
was that Dan?
Yeah, I think Dan
Freddie?
threw it on the site. And I ended up ordering one just for OAX. So I figured this would be a fun time to reveal as well.
Edit, kick. Oh, is this a solo? All right, let me see that one.
There you go. It's hilarious.
And we'll do this one.
The shirt came out good. Both shirts came out really, really nice.
Great. Yeah, looks great.
I went with the nice cotton too.
Yeah, it's not bad. This place is actually has a nice fit, although I realize I'm more of a large than medium these days.
Margaret just put on the chat she wants one per each day of the week. She wants 7 of them.
7 of them.
That's what she said.
The great.
Yep. And it's got the date on there, 1/26/2024. So.
Yeah.
All right. This was a labor of love. Hope you guys like it.
Well, E knocks it out of the park again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Super cool. One thing. Hey, if you do a lot of social media stuff, so I'm going to leave this image up there just because it's hilarious. But Aranga is doing Spawn covers for Todd McFarlane's Spawn contest. He's done 3 or 4 of them so far, and they've been fantastic, knocking out of the park. So if you're not on his Instagram, check it out. If you want to share it or do anything to kind of get it out there. But I mean, they're all legit. Like I would pay money to buy that cover type stuff. He killed it. So Aranga is doing 300 covers for Frank Miller and doing these Spawn things and all this other work. He's also doing Mega Cox, Big Johnson pictures, and my original one was he's doing Silver Surfer thigh gap one that I had him do for fish. So he's multi-talented. And yes, Marine does get a shirt.
Well, he plateaued too. He plateaued too with this shirt.
Yeah, no, I mean he's done. Honestly, this should be a Spawn cover entry.
There you go. A variant cover.
All right. He does design industrial fans. A lot of people don't know this. He's a mechanical engineer. Actually leads a team. Smart guy. All right. Enough of Aranga love. Let's get on the final round. So, Michael Steve. No. It's Carl Steve. Let me switch this up. You are on a team, and Rob and Michael, you're on a team. And I think you guys have a solid grouping of art between you, so this is going to be tough. All right, Steve, Carl, talk about this one.
Well, yet again, looking at what Travis Charest can do and hearing about, how he wants everything to be perfect and whatnot. I wonder how many hours it even took him to create this thing. He really, to me, it still looks like it's chiseled out of stone, a labor of love. The cross hatching in the dress that she's wearing, you can almost feel the crumples in it. Really, really does a nice job. Even her facial expression, just kind of like a little lackadaisical, a little bored as she's stepping towards you. He really does a nice job. Whether it's sequential art or not, maybe it just turns into fine art after a while, and that's okay too.
Yeah, it
We
feels
look
like
at the
fine
same
art.
piece.
If you look at the whip too, do you guys notice she's holding a whip over her shoulder, and like the five? Oh, it's so cool. It actually really comes alive.
Cat of five tails or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. Margaret, James S. on calf. Shoot me a note on calf. We'll hook you up. Just some of the size. All right. Number 2. This one is also Carl and Steve.
Carl, I'll let you go.
You didn't pick this one, Carl.
This is a classic, man. Yeah, no, this is a classic. I mean, like I mentioned, it's a little ahead of my time, but before my time, and so, but it's just it says, I think everything that needed to be said was said already. It's just a classic piece by Joe Kubert.
Right, like if you were going to even make a book about Joe Kubert and his artwork, this would be on the cover of it.
The cover.
That good.
Yeah, artist edition.
All right.
Comic
Michael.
books in the 1980s. I mean, Transformers was one of the biggest, one of the best. It was a gateway book that I think that brought a lot of people, including myself. It helped us to introduce us to the wider world of comic books. This one, evokes feelings of a movie that was, I think, a big factor in a lot of our childhoods. And, it's Don Perlin, one of those classic, Marvel artists who also did some well-remembered work for Valiant, showing off his skills at drawing those robots in disguise.
Yeah, everyone who saw this just got a nostalgic hit right into their veins.
For sure.
Yeah, and Transformers, 40 years later, they're still relevant, aren't they? I mean, the movies coming out, toys still coming out.
Yeah.
Warren Johnson's doing comics.
Rob he knew about it and he wouldn't even bring it up. He was going to pass right over the Warren Johnson stuff.
All right. And the last one. Man, this is a hard round. Go for it.
That's, I'm going to blunder it by talking about it. So I'll start, but Michael, you got to finish. It's a great piece. I don't know the name of the miniseries that came out that, the hell's that guy's name? The French dude that did Thor for a while. Help me out here, somebody. Starts with a C or ends with a C. Come on, man. He did. Who?
He's Australian.
What's his name?
Chris Hemsworth?
No,
about the actor.
The artist, the guy who made him look awesome. What the hell is his name?
Barry Windsor.
Yeah.
Oh.
This kind of gives me that feel. I mean, he's got that hard look, that rough, rugged face. He looks like a badass in this thing. I think gives me a little bit of that. Copiel. I know a lot of people love his art. Especially his Thor art. So it's badass.
Rivet could have based this off of Copiel artwork for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, let's knock it out. We're doing good on time, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Championship round. Get your votes in. It is active. This is the final sketch vote ever, or unless we do it again. Actually, no. I think we're going to do the sketch vote to actually pick the winner for the Thor trophy. We're going to do it a live voting too. That's going to be interesting. We're going to have 13 pieces. We'll figure it out. All right.
Who gets the trophy? Is it the person who collection it's in, or?
You get it, Michael.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
The first person to ask about it gets it.
Yeah. No, whoever submitted the winning piece. Subject for next month is whiskey. I like that.
With an E. You forgot the E in there, Michael.
No, that's because he's been drinking it.
Good point. I'm about to bust out my Macallan.
Let's see. No, Ronald's piece will be, he gets his own entry. So he doesn't have to compete against anyone for that 1/13th entry.
Ronald's
he gets his own participate. Somebody asked, where's Ronald's piece? Yep. So he already sent it to me. So there'll be 12 from the 12 months and then one piece from Ronald that he wants to add.
This Ronald they keep bringing up, it's like that, where's Waldo? Where's Ronald? Who is the guy?
He's a pretty cool, long time, really commissiony collector.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he would. Does he? I think he jumps in these chests a lot, right?
He was on here today.
Oh, okay. All right, we got 28. Let's see, we got 50 people. Oh yeah, are you guys hitting your likes? Make sure we hit your likes on their YouTube. I don't know if you are. I'm just on my. Let's get one more. Let's get 30 for the championship round, the last one. Come on, guys, talk it up. Talk it up.
Come on, 30. More.
Come on, Marcus, vote for the first time in your life. Let's go, dude.
Freaking commie. I'm just kidding.
That just came out, right, James? That just.
Oh,
watching.
Shit. I accidentally put Alberto in timeout.
Oh, 30's in. 30's in. We got it.
Good. He needs that.
I clicked on the wrong button. So Alberto's got a 5-minute timeout.
All right, we got 30.
All right, we got
You
30.
can't take it off?
I'm sure he's gonna get. I'm sure I'm gonna get some Facebook messages and some.
I'm gonna text him, dude. What'd you do? You got timeout.
All right. Who do you think, audience? 30 seconds or 10 seconds. Put in you.
Look, it's obvious. These guys all voted for Catwoman. Come on.
Thor. I think either Thor or Sergeant Rock.
Should be Thor.
I'm gonna say Transformers.
Well, you saw don't you see it in front of you? Who won?
No, I see it when you see it. You're sharing my screen.
Ah.
Oh,
Thor.
Close. So close.
Yeah. The audience has good taste. That's a great piece.
Yeah.
I would take all those four. I wouldn't pass up on one of those pieces that it was handed to me. I'd take them all. I wouldn't even blink.
Yeah, that was
if you gave me the Travis Cherish for free, I'd give it back to you with $100 attached to it. Man, that's not a lie.
Yeah, no, that is a lie.
I can hear. You know what? I would be happy to hear you just complain about art. It's
a lot of years.
I don't take it personally either. It's nice.
No, man, I don't take nothing personally.
If you talk to him long enough, he'll just complain about everything.
Yeah, I'll get put on timeout.
Oh, that's too bad. He's got 5 minutes, and I don't think we have 5 minutes left in the show.
Oh, that stinks. Poor dude. Freaking James.
I think it goes against his calf rank too.
Oh, that sucks.
All right. A couple things, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for the last show. Love the t-shirt, Carl. Thank you, audience, for showing up on these Mondays for something a little bit different. Maybe we'll have some kind of different content in the next year. And Margaret, Alberto's gone. He doesn't exist anymore. His CAF account has been deleted. And hit me up to on my CAF if you want a shirt. So have a great night. We're under an hour and a half, and take care. Oh, by the way, who's winning Michigan and Washington?
I gotta imagine Michigan's crushing them. No, what's the score? Anybody know?
That'll be the last thing.
We could probably just check our phones. No.
Okay, calling it. All right, end it.